and welcome to another episode of Broadcast Comic Book Talk. When I started reading comics in 2014, yes I know that seems late, all I read was Transformers and Iron Man comics. I read some of the Marvel event comics like Civil War, but never really expanded my comic reading at that point. Plus, those Marvel event comics were not as interesting because I only knew Iron Man / Tony Stark and not really any of the other characters aside from how they are shown in the MCU. Eventually I expanded my reading with IDW comics because I have been enjoying their multiple Transformers series for years, and I picked up and enjoyed series like The Infinite Loop and The Sword of Ages. There was a point that I picked up some DC titles like Cyborg and Katana, but I never found any other DC comics to really pull me in. I never truly expanded my comic reading until the end of 2018 when I got into some series under the publisher of Image Comics. This came at a time when I dropped the then current Iron Man series from my pull and didn't have anything else new aside from Transformers. Those first Image Comics series that I picked up were The Freeze, Die, The Infinite Dark, and Gunning for Hits. I also jumped into the trade paperbacks of Oblivion Song and have yet to be disappointed in that series. But those other series ended, not Oblivion Song. Then, because of New Comic Book Day, Marvel Comics came back in my pull list with Avengers Series 8. So I had that and Transformers going for a while. Now, 29 issues later, that Avengers series has left my pull list. However, in that time, I picked up and read all of IDW's series Lock and Key, some Star Wars comics in there as well. Now, at the present, I have no Marvel or DC anything on my pull. I still have Transformers and Transformers Galaxies because it's Transformers, and I always have an interest in all things Transformers. Now, sitting in my still to read pile is the first chapter of the Image Comics series Monstrous, but I still have the 4th volume trade on hold at my local comic book shop. I also added to my pull the brand new Image Comics series titled Mercy. I don't know, Victorian era gothic horror. As much as I am not normally a horror person, it looks intriguing. I also added another Image Comics series that comes out in May, titled A Man Among Ye. What can I say? You tell me pirate fantasy, and I say here is my money. So, aside from this being another update to what comics I am reading and all that, this is also about how I used to read Marvel comics pretty regularly, to now not at all. It's odd because I love the MCU, but I find the comic book side of Marvel to be different. Marvel has a lot of characters that have been around for a long time, and I'm sure there are people who like all of Marvel's characters. I, however, am not one of those people. The last parts of that Avengers series, I'm not interested in Ghost Rider. I've watched the Nick Cage movies and they're alright, but that's the extent of Ghost Rider. The series started out interesting with Celestials and stuff, and then went down in the middle with stuff about the Winter Guard, which I had never heard of until then, and went even further down with all the Ghost Rider shenanigans. Now it's no longer a part of my pull. This isn't the first Marvel series to disappoint me. This happened with Tony Stark Iron Man, with the exception that I realized around the 10th issue of that series that the series was awful. Maybe there is some current Marvel series out there that I might like, but I don't think I care. I have Transformers, I have Mercy, and in May, I'll have A Man Among Ye. I think that these independent publishers are just knocking it out of the park, more so than Marvel and DC are. I don't hate the comic side of Marvel or DC, but I just don't really think they're capable of keeping a series going long term through multiple interesting story arcs. There's a point that they should just end it. Sometimes I think they fail to see that. That's all I have to say, so if you're into the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.